Welcome to the channel. Brian Jennings. This channel exists to discuss my relationship with Quentin Tarantino. I am the reason he canceled the movie Critic, and we now have a legendary clairvoyant connection which will transcend space and time and binds our souls together forever. This is a condition that he can always deny, right? That these are, and in terms of what he's done, of course, it's nothing to lie to him. That's so. Right. It's incumbent upon me to talk about it, right? Because, right, I have no money. Right? I have nothing but my mind, right? And they've been stealing from it for a long time, and so now we're on here, and I'm giving it all away so that we can all be caught up. And every time anyone meets happenstance, right, Quentin Tarantino, we can all reserve the right to ask him, right? What are you doing to Brian Jennings right now? Right? So, we'll come back to that. The lines were, of course, very famous lines from Much Ado About Nothing. Benedict's Lamentations about Claudio getting married. Very classic poetry. If you recall, we have many things that we do on this channel. And one of them is that we're going through this book, Spherical Models. And so, today's contribution, the dodecahedron. Right? And so again, it's a spherical model, right? So if this wasn't paper, it would be something like that. You know, the paper kind of collapses on itself. Right? So you see that triangle, right? That's five pentagrams. Or it's where three pentagons meet. Right? So where three pentagons meet. So right, like this is a pentagon, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then this, right here's a pentagon, 1, 2, 3, right? And then this is a pentagon, right? And so each one of these pentagons is 10 triangles. This is the left hand, right hand, right here, these two. That's perfect. Right? Or it's right here, sorry. It's these two. Left hand, right hand. Right? So there's 5 sides to the pentagon. Right? So there's 10 triangles. Right? It's 120 triangles. Right? So, again, right? We construct these things, right? Because we posit that there is a quantum manifold, right? Of idealized archetypes, right? Called the hologram, right? That all of space has embedded within it a hologram. And within every cubic centimeter of that hologram, right, in terms of information, right, lies the potential to express all of manifested reality. Right? And so, this hologram arranges itself in a particular way to where it has this structural, archetypal scaffolding for all of life, all of anything that could possibly be, right? And there are an infinite variety of this. And then here's the icosahedron, right? They look very similar, right? They're the duals of each other, right? That these are both inside of each other, right? Like here's the tetrahedron, right? And so what does this have to do with the movie Critic, right? What does this have to do with Quentin Tarantino, right? That if anyone has seen my video on remote viewing, right, then they would know that I posit that if you're looking for something, anything, right, and you meditate on these, right, that as these comprise the subatomic, right, subquantum structural scaffold, right, that it's the same structural archetype, right, that your psychic eye will, boom, is going to find what you're looking for faster, right, because all of these, right, are all embedded inside of each other in every cubic centimeter of space. You understand?